Hello fellow makeup lovers, how are you guys doing today? So I'm beyond excited for this video. I think this is the most exciting palette I've played with for a really long time. So today I'm going to be using the new Certifeye Affinity palette. We're just going to be doing a first impression. There's a lot of shades here, so we'll see how many we can end up using. But this is what it looks like. Oh my gosh, this palette, you guys. It is just so beautiful. So the top like 9 pans are like all like really warm. Like there's some yellows, some oranges, some red, and then the bottom 9 is like all purples and berries and deliciousness. So, man, I'm literally speechless. I think this is the most beautiful palette. I mean, I think if I went through my entire collection, like any look I do with this, I could probably pull from a bunch of other palettes and get. Well, maybe not. Some of these purples are pretty unique, but all together as one, like this palette is just like my dream. Like I'm so excited about it. So I had other plans to film today, and then this showed up in my mailbox and I was like, I'm filming with this right away. So this was really cool because I pre-ordered it and it wasn't supposed to ship until after Christmas, I believe, and today is December 19th and it shipped from the UK where Certifeye is located, which normally takes 2 to 3 weeks. So I'm really excited. I just thought I would mention it really quickly. Certifeye does have a bunch of other palettes. I own all of them. I don't know if I've talked about them on my channel at all. I've been playing with them, testing them out. This is the Destiny palette, just looks like that. Then there is the Tropical Wonders palette, which is all matte. And then the Dynasty palette, which is similar to Tropical Wonders, but a lot of the matte shades are shimmers and like the coordinating shades aren't the same. So they look very similar, but I feel like they're not too similar. But anyways, these are all really colorful palettes and they have a lot of like pinks and oranges and purples. So if you want to see a comparison, I'm going to throw it on screen really quickly. I took a picture with my phone just to show you guys because I think it would be impossible to hold all 4 of these palettes up at the same time. So I'll add the picture on over top as I'm talking so you can kind of get a good look at what the palettes look like and if you could see there being a place in your collection for the Affinity palette. Alright, so before I start applying these to my eyes, I figured we'd just go ahead and do some quick swatches. So I'm going to start off with the first row. Here is the second row. Here is the third row. Those 2 reds right there look very similar. Here's the fourth row. Here's the 5th row. And last but not least, here's the 6th row, which we're gonna make fit right here. Alright, so those are all the shades. Some of them feel a little bit powdery. Like I think you can kind of tell like the more neon type shades, like that yellow there, the oranges. But overall, lots of pigmentation, and this last purple shade right here is so beautiful. I really like my arm right now. Is it wrong that I want this like tattooed on my arm? My grandma would not be happy. I did want to mention really quickly for my eye look today, I'm going to be using the new Real Techniques Enhanced Eye Set, which I was sent through Octoly. I love Real Techniques brushes, and there's like some really nice ones in here, like this like small petite crease one, if you can see, looks really good. So I'm going to be using these. Oh, there's, oh, wait. Oh, it's a little brush holder. If you could only see the size of this brush holder compared to the amount of brushes I have, that's hysterical. But that's actually really cute, and it's like a nice little, oh, that's cute. I'm going to start off with Munaza, the white shade right here. I'm actually just going to go ahead and like set like kind of where my brow bone is. Make sure I've got no creases. And then just very lightly kind of fluff it all over. Just because I'm doing a 2-toned eye look today, that's what my plan is. And I know like I've got concealer on my lid and I don't want it to crease like while I'm doing one eye and the other eye, and I just figured this would just make it easier, so I went in with just the tiniest bit of powder. So my plan is this eye is going to be like yellow, orange, red, and then this eye is going to be like pink, medium pink, purple. I feel like my camera's having the hardest time focusing on this palette, but I'm going to start off with Salma, the yellow right here, and I'm going to put that into my crease right here. Just kind of blend it out a little bit. So now my best friend today is going to be my color switch. This is just like a cheap one that I got at Walmart for like $5. Just gonna take all the color off, and then I'm gonna go into the next shade. I'm not gonna keep repeating that, but that's what I'm gonna do every single time. So now I'm gonna go ahead and I think I'm gonna take just a little tiny touch of Annie. This one right here. They should have done Annie as like an orange for like Annie. You know what I mean? Like the Orphan Annie. Jeez. Tomorrow. Okay, so you can't see that color as much blended into the other one, but now I'm going to go ahead and take the shade Sonia right here. I'm just going to put it in the middle and blend it into the yellow. And then blend it upwards a little bit. I'm going to take a touch of Annika, the bright red right there. Just put that like in the middle here. And then for the outer V, I'm going to go ahead and take Miriam, which looks to be like a really deep, like maroon red. I really like that shade. That looks really nice. I'm going to put that on the outer V and blend upwards. Doesn't look nearly as deep on the eye. I'm going to kind of build that up a little. I did get just a touch of fallout, so I'm not going to let that sit. I'm just going to go ahead and whisper that away. And then I'm just going to go ahead and like buff out the edges just a little bit. So that looks looking good. I'm going to go ahead and leave it the way it is and start with the other eye and use this shade right here called Riz. Just going to pop that on the inner corner in the same spot. Start off by blending and then I'll pack it on. Okay, so it's just a nice hot pink. Now I think I'm going to go ahead and take this shade. Well, no, man, I'm having such a hard time deciding what shade to do next. I think I'm going to go ahead and take the next shade over called Zara, which is a little bit more of like a purpley pink. I'm going to put that in the middle. I'm going to go ahead and take Shazia right here, this deeper pink. That like right here. So I'll take Sana, this purple here. Use a little bit and put that right here. So now for the deepest shade, I think I'm going to go ahead and take Henna, this purple right here. Just pack that on the outer V. And I'm just gonna blend again. This little brush is pretty handy. Alright, so I'm really liking how that looks. I think I'm gonna go ahead and before I do the rest of the lid, I'm just gonna do the opposites. So do the yellow, orange, red, and the pink, medium pink, purple on like the opposite side. I'm probably not gonna go with all the colors that I use. Like I use like several extras just to pair, just to try them out today. But when it comes to the lower lash line, you can't tell as much. So I'm just gonna use the like main ones. I'm just taking another like little brush here, but this is a little bit bigger, so I feel like it'll, you know, it's going to be a dramatic lower lash line for sure. I'm going to go in with my clean blending brush and just blend that out. Alright, so for my lid, I am going to go ahead and take a base and just cut it really quickly and do like 2/3 of the lid. I'm not going to go into detail, but I do have a full video on how to cut your crease for hooded eyes, which I can leave linked in the cards if you guys want to see that. Okay, so all over my lid, I just got a few of the Prism Metal eyeshadows from JCat Beauty. They just look like this, and I think that they're supposed to be like kind of like a cream. I don't even know. I just saw people raving about them, and they looked really cool, so I picked up some of the more interesting, like lighter pastel shades, and this is like, I don't know if it's going to show on camera, but it's a pastel like white to pink shift. So I thought that would be really pretty all over the lid. So Oh yeah, yeah. Oh, that's weird. Oh, it's like cream. I think I'm gonna go ahead and like add that on top. Okay. Okay, I don't know what I was thinking using a new product after doing such a complicated look. Looks really chunky. Alright, I'm gonna use my brush and just kind of try to blend that shade out. I'm gonna go ahead and take the Destiny palette and use this light pink here instead. That looks much better. I'm gonna go ahead and just use the outer two shades, the deepest purple, the deepest red, and blend that into the lid shade. I feel like the purple, every time I apply it, is fading right here on the outer V. It's not wanting to stick as well, unfortunately. Take a little extra primer and just put this on the outer V. Alright, so I went ahead and finished off my eyes off camera, and I just added House of Lashes Bambi lashes and a little bit of liner to finish them up. I'm going to use the Ofra highlighter in the shade Pillow Talk for my inner corner. Just going to put it on like the very middle part right here. If you can hear some like weird chewing sounds in the background, that would be my 2-year-old. Which feels really weird to call him a 2-year-old now because he just turned 2 last week. And he woke up from his nap early. I'm just going to skip blush today and add that shade as well as highlight. I'm just going to finish the lips off with the Ultra Glossy Lip in Moonchild from ColourPop. So this is the finished look using the Affinity palette for the first time, and I really love how it turned out. I feel like it's an overall really pretty look, and I really want to get into doing two-toned eyes more often. I definitely would say that I had a few problems with the purple on the outer V here, and it kept blending off and it didn't want to stick to my eye, but that was the only shade that I had a problem with, and I think that I have that problem with a lot of shadows, so it really could just be me. But overall, I really, really like the look, and I think the shadows are super pigmented, really, really bright and vibrant, even though I set my lid first, which is something I normally don't do. So I really like the finished look, but I feel like I just like barely touched the surface of this palette, because even though I used a bunch of shades, I feel like there's so much more you can do with it, like just the different purples and the berries, and like there's so many really beautiful deepening shades in here, and I really need to do a look with this purple here. Yes, buddy. So I think that's everything I have to say today. Do you want to say goodbye to everyone? You want to see yourself on the TV? You don't even want to look at yourself? Wow, you're so humble. Oh, dear, you are. Here you are. Can you say hi? Can you say bye? I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.